A very good afternoon and welcome back to the touchline on Y254. Maxwell Wasike is my name. Of course, this particular time we speak about the state of Kenyan football with focus on what's happening to top flight football, Kenya Premier League financial status, and the stalemate surrounding the top flight with several teams failing to honor their Premier League ties. And with me joining Miss Albert Wesonga, Secretary General of Mount Kenya United. Alberto, good to speak to you, man. How have you been?
Thank you so much, Maxwell.
Long time.
I'm happy to be with you guys here.
Now, how are you settling outside KPL? Because your team participated in top flight last season. It was relegated. Right now, it's the National Super League. How is the transition?
A transition, to me, it's something that I am used to. Because previously, I used to be in the same level where I am. Then I was promoted to Kenya Premier League. Right now, I can say I've already adapted. So we are running on smoothly. And even if you look on the table the way you are playing and even the way you are performing, we are not badly off.
Are you very optimistic that you will be back in top flight soon?
To me, I can assure you, most likely we might be back. Because right now in the NSL, we don't have that tight race as it used to be in previous years. But this year, the only team that I'm worried of is City Stars in National Super League. But others are just contenders as years goes in out.
But going by the global trends, even this situation has been witnessed overseas in European leagues. When a team gets relegated, it's very difficult for them coming back. We've seen this in English Premier League football because the likes of Portsmouth, Middlesbrough, Reading, Derby County got relegated, Blackburn Rovers, and coming back has been such a Herculean task.
But there was a time Newcastle came back.
Indeed, Newcastle came back, and I know Fred Openda, of course, is still with us on the set. He will be joining us in a few. But tell us about the structures and strategies you're putting in place, because last season you suffered from huge financial crisis that crippled the team. Has the situation changed right now?
I can say the situation haven't changed yet, and as we expected. But right now we are a little bit off because of the league we are playing in, and even the players that we are right now using are not very expensive as we used to have the previous ones. Then right now, NSL is a matter of organization, the way you organize yourself. But money also matters. But that one is a crisis to all teams. Especially from top tier to the lower league. So I can't say that finances are all. Finances is the everything when it comes to football. But to me, what we have done as a club, right now we decided to go for young talented players. And that's why we are trying to perform. And if you look to the table, that's why we're maintaining the position where we are. But again, when it comes to aspects of money, it's a crisis to everybody. So I am sure if we talk to these players and maybe the structure that we have in the team, we might come back. But right now, I cannot tell you that this is the much that I'm paying the players the way we used to. Because of the financial problems. But what we are doing is we talk to the players and we give them money that or something small that we get as club officials and the main sponsor.
I'm going to bring in Fred Openda, and of course I'm reliably informed he has his mic, despite putting on a jersey that appears as if he bought it yesterday. He's experiencing technical glitches. And Fred Openda, talking about the economic crunch facing several football teams locally, the team you vehemently support, Shaban FC, is also going through the same turmoil. At some point it was reported that they were getting funded by the Kisii County government. Is it high time that, the county system of administrations can come to the rescue of these suffering teams financially?
I think now the famous saying that wanasema kila mtu apambane na hali yake applies in this situation, because as Wesonga is saying is that right now the players that they have are not really expensive as compared to the last one, the players they used to have when they were in the Kenya Premier League. Yes. Okay, that's another strategy, but remember this is not a long term. What if you get promoted to the KPL? then another situation arises. As Shabana, as I was saying, everyone is experiencing these money
Wazito
issues,
FC.
except Wazito right now. Yeah, everyone is experiencing this, and this should teach the clubs a lesson that what if we don't have a sponsor, then we should be having income generating activities for ourselves. We have a lot of activities that these clubs can undertake. But remember, us having the activities also requires the starting capital, which we don't have. That's where we should at least have a sponsor to start the clubs from somewhere. Yeah, once you started from somewhere, then going forward now you can be able to come up with other ways that can help the clubs generate their own income without mainly maybe getting the money from the sponsors. So this, I think the past 2 years has taught us a very, very good lesson. And if the clubs are going to maybe now come up with ideas, the management teams of the various clubs, then going forward, maybe starting next season, we'll be able to see that this issue of money will not be a problem any longer. So going forward, it's a lesson learned. And the clubs, I think, should be able to now come up with various ways to get money as we are going forward into the new season. Hata kama tumeanza hii na hizi issues zote za pesa.
Now, Albert, as we speak, 2 teams have failed to honor their fixtures today. Chemil didn't travel to Mombasa to play against the Dockers of Bandari, and so is Sony, which failed to travel to Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos to play against Tusk FC. And now those are 3 points given to their opponents. There were calls to suspend the league. Are you of the same view or you hold contrary opinion?
Thank you, Maxwell. To me, I hold of a contrary opinion because dissolving the league will be destroying everything. And even our league internationally will not be recognized anymore. So we know the status of the league. And last week, KPL Council's chairman had a meeting and decided that the league should be played or should go on. Now, to me, saying that we dissolve the league is not giving a solution. Let us look for a long-term solution. Rather than today we'll dissolve the league, that's KPL. Then what next? Yes, it's upon the stakeholders. Let us all come together and agree to move on. Because this, as my friend has said, this is something that all club officials could have come up with a strategy of what if we don't have this sponsorship. Like previously, we didn't have Sports Pesa, but we had Super Sport. But you see, Super Sport and Sports Pesa, these are things that will come and go. But at the end of the day, let us try to come up with a strategy that we can organize this league to make sure that it can be run with or without sponsorship. Like if you go to EPL attracts people even in Kenya, so that you as a Kenyan person, you are ready to watch EPL.
What you are trying to say that yes, it has to be value adding for it to attract even corporate sponsorship. Because as we speak right now, I saw a tweet belonging to the owner of Wazito FC, Ricardo Badua, condemning Kenyan teams for failing to package themselves properly, because AS Roma has introduced a Swahili Twitter handle just to attract, fans
from Kenya.
Yet the Kenyan teams themselves can't capitalize
exactly
on the love for
exactly, Maxwell. Now let us ask, especially the officials or the stakeholders of the clubs, so that they can come up with a system whereby they can be a position to stand on their own, regardless, because there are so many ways. Like Gor Mahia and FC, if we can introduce something like anything on social media that charges even 100 bob or 2 shillings or 10 shillings, that will go to will act as a revenue to the club, this club will have money. But now we Kenyans officials, especially officials and the clubs, we are just seated and waiting for the sponsorship. What if the sponsorship's not there? But again, I can also not spare the KPL,
the body managing
the league. They have also failed
to market
the league, because right now it's their responsibility to make sure that this league is marketable. And it's them to make sure, like you said, the other day I saw Oguda requesting the Kenyan government. Now, Kenyan government today, it will help you. For how long? Let us come up with a strategy. They have a responsibility. To me, I can't spare them.
I know all of us, Jack Oguda, the CEO Kenyan Premier League, Frank Okoth, the liaison officer, they're our friends, but we won't spare them on this one. We will tear them because they have failed to make KPL how it is supposed to be, so that it can be an emulation of what we witness overseas, even in other African countries. Like, look at the Zambian Premier League.
Just imagine. Imagine a whole of the Kenyan Premier League that they don't have an official broadcaster. You know, sometimes how are people going to know that we have such and such a team? How are people going to know that we are supposed to attend a match next week if we are not going to have some of these partners, and if we are not willing to spend, as you are saying, to market our league? Then I think it's a failure on the part of your friends. They should be able to I think, to market this league, and as we were saying, football is business, and if you're not appealing to corporates, then you are not going to get any money outside from sponsors when you are in difficult times as we are in now. So it's up to them to market the league, so that people outside there can be able to know our teams, and maybe we can.
I know,
get
Fred Openda, you coming
out.
from corporate background. What would motivate you to fund a Kenyan team? Just be realistic with us, so that if there is,
as you are saying,
it's of Kenyan football who is watching,
it's value for my money. If I'm going to sponsor you, I should get value of what I'm sponsoring. You know, if a team is going to carry out themselves in a good way, you know what people are afraid of putting money in the Kenyan league is we don't have accountability in this league, and then also, as you're saying, we have not marketed it well. If we have accountability, if I'm going to give you my 10
that's
million,
corporate confidence.
Exactly, you create that confidence in the sponsors. If you're not going to, if I'm going to give you 10 million and then you're not going to account for it, trust me, I'm not going to come back with another 10 million to maybe throw in a pit, if I can
Now,
put
Fred
it so.
Openda,
Yes.
Fred Openda, let's talk brotherly way. Give me that 10 million. I form a team. I can initiate a good team back home in
are you
Mumias,
sure? Are you
where
sure?
there's plenty of potential. I think we can do very well, you know, riding through the ladder and get into top flight.
Are you sure you're not going to go the Football Kenya Federation way, whereby we are given approximately 500 million from FIFA, and then we cannot be able to tell the Kenyan people what we have done with this money? Are you not going to act that way? So this is what we are saying. The confidence is not there. The confidence to the corporates is not there. And if we are going to market our league and build that confidence in the corporates, trust me, we are going to get sponsorship. Look at my jersey. It has Bidco on the back. This is sponsorship, you know. If, as we are talking about football, rugby had issues, just issues a while ago. But now, right now,
with the new leadership on board, they have packaged themselves properly.
Exactly. We are seeing things changing. So maybe football-wise, we should also go that way.
Albert, I know it's so ironical that clubs that enjoy a huge fan base in the country don't have a sponsor. We had a heated debate a few months ago when SportPesa announced that it had left, you know, funding Kenyan sporting activities due to, you know, harsh economic times and the government taxation.
Yes.
And FC Leopards and Gor Mahia cried foul over the same pronouncement, saying that, you know, they are now helpless, they are handicapped. Just like you had indicated earlier, the two teams enjoy huge fan base in the country. Is there a way through which that can generate them revenue rather than, you know,
yeah, a lot of ways.
exposing there,
Yes,
begging?
To me, Maxwell, I can assure it's a lot of these guys, especially these two big clubs. They have a lot of potentiality to make revenue out of their own initiative. Like today, I heard Shikanda was on one of the local TVs, and he was urging all local fans not to rely on sponsorship. Let us come together and help this team. That's the way I've said. Let us even come up with a skizzer tune for Ingwe.
Wow.
And,
That's a
and
nice one.
yes, and let us enroll it on one of the social media that if you subscribe to this Sikiza tune, then 1 shilling will go to the club. Now, if you can have a subscription of 1,000 or 10,000 fans,
And definitely, the way I know the fans of the two clubs, their passion.
yes, they will. That's creating revenue. Now, to me, like the two clubs, they should be the forefront. And to me,
And we won't spare Shaban as well. It's a community club.
especially actually, Shabana is also one of the biggest clubs with fan base. And even right now, if I were one of the officials in Shabana, I could be crying because this is something that should come up as a team and create revenue on our own, not necessarily depending on sponsorship. But I'm sure this is something that can be done in this country. But again, also, I'll also urge the government. Like right now, the government knows very well that it cannot sponsor all these sports. But when it comes to like sports supporting the sports or sports activity in the country, let us try to be lenient to them, because how many families that sports pesa has been supporting, and right now they are left without any support.
On that issue of Sport Pesa, I try to fence it because I'm 50-50 on Sport Pesa's existence and their support for Kenyan sports. They have done well, of course. Cutters of Sport Pesa, you've seen Theo Walcott coming to Kenya,
yes,
with Everton, and
exactly.
a lot of our ladies thronging to Kasarani Stadium to watch Everton against Kariobangi Sharks, which is not bad.
Yes. And you see, like, let me come to you slightly.
Yes.
If you can remember very well, during that time for Everton, the marketing that was done by Sports Pesa,
Kasarani Stadium was full to the
yes,
rafters.
I was there personally. The marketing that was done before even the match, the day of the match, it was very well. All over, all radio station, everyone knew. Now, that is something that KPL could have also come up with a system of that kind. Like recently, we had an international match.
Kenya against Mozambique.
Kenya against Mozambique. You can imagine. Now, to me, the only thing that Federation was doing was to sensitize football lovers through social media. But to me, I expected them to go more extra while, because right now, Federation has actually come up with a section of media team. Now, media team should also work extra harder. When it comes to international matches, they should try as possible, make sure that everybody knows the event is going to be done this day, and where. So that people should turn out in large numbers. And like my colleague was also putting it about the corporates. Corporates also are losing the trust, because even the value of your money will not be there. Like, I'm sure if any corporate can watch or saw what was there between Everton and Kariobangi Sharks, and today,
and even Hull City against
and
God.
Hull City against God,
Kasarani Stadium
yes,
was full.
and tomorrow you approach one of the corporates, they'll give you sponsorship. So generally, Federation and KPL about football, they should do something.
But Albert, let's be realistic right now. I know there is a game that is being staged at Nyayo National Stadium. For example, Mathare United playing against Sofapaka, let's say so.
Yes.
You know, by the virtue that I live Langata Road and it's a stone throw away from Nyayo, I will go. But, you know, sports nowadays is entertainment. Because you go to these stadiums, you know, the dull environment, you can't even go to with your kids, because people have perception that when you attend Mashemeji Derby between FC Leopards and Gor Mahia, and maybe you are tagging along yourself with your kids.
Yes. There will be stones.
Throwing hooliganism.
Yes.
What can we do to curb all those?
Now, to me, as I said, Federation and KPL should do something across the entire football in the country. We haven't talked even about the referees. We haven't talked about the security issue, the way you're putting it. But to me, it's all this blame all goes along to KPL and Federation. Federation and KPL should work hand in hand and make sure that they try to soothe the kind of league that is being played in the country, so that it can attract both corporate and fans to come in the ground. Like we had I had an initiative from Karun Radul, just a study.
Yes.
Yes, it ran a shorter while, then it went off. Why? I don't know.
Fred Openda, I know you must be a victim of hooliganism and tear gas.
Oh, there's a time I attended a match pitting, the Shemeji Derby. It was at the Nyayo National Stadium, and it was under floodlights.
Before renovation started.
Yes, my friend. That's the kind of those are the kind of issues that make fans not to attend some of these matches.
At some point, Nicholas Musonye, Secretary General of Sekafa, complained about Kenyan love for their own, because Musonye says that a Kenyan will go at Nairobi West in a pub to drink beer while watching Arsenal against Newcastle United. Then neighboring at Nyayo, there is a game that is ongoing, but they can't attend.
Yeah, that's
why.
The way, as you are saying, football being a business is also entertainment.
Yes.
If you are not going to get entertained,
just like rugby, the way rugby are doing it.
Yes. If you are not going to get entertained at Nyayo National Stadium, and you can get entertainment watching Arsenal.
Just sitting on the terraces.
Yes. Yeah. Why not go where you'll get entertainment? So our football, our class has also to improve. I know we got a lot of talent in the country. So the way we'll market our football, our football is what matters. Actually, you may even find that fan who's watching an Arsenal game at Nairobi West might not be knowing that there's a game going on at National Stadium. So it's a matter of marketing it, and always marketing it, so that we can get fans to the stadiums.
And maybe the aspect of our stadiums. Right now, as we speak, Nyayo National Stadium has been getting renovated, and it's been long overdue. Because the last time an event took place there was during Jamhuri Day celebrations. When it comes to matters political, it's ready. But sporting issues, not yet ready.
I think there's a time that Coca-Cola wanted to renovate our stadium, and they wanted to put some Coca-Cola, something, their name.
Branding.
Exactly, to brand it that way. But there was a lot of politics, and they pulled out. Look at what Safaricom did to Kasarani. It was awesome for the first 2 years, although we have issues right now, but they did a good job. If we had given that stadium to Coca-Cola, we would have a very, very different entity at the Nyayo National Stadium. So sometimes it's good not to politicize these issues. If someone is willing to come on board, let's give him a chance. The way they likes of sport people, sponsors, give them tax incentives. If you are supposed to pay 15%, I'll give you a cut of 5%, pay 10%. This way, we can get a middle ground, and we'll be able to support our football. Otherwise, the path that we are taking, then we are going to be in a very, very sorry state in 2-3 years coming down the line.
Albert, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree with my friend here, Panda, because right now we are heading to, if something will not be done, we are heading in a wrong direction. That one I can assure you, Maxwell. But I also urge you media guys, Maxwell, because you are the forefront. Make noise until something happens. Because you guys in sports, you have the capability to make sure that you make noise until something happens. Like the government.
But we can only make noise when some efforts are being, noticed.
Yeah, like
some few teams are trying their level best, despite the financial crisis. A few teams are trying, but not majority of them.
Maxwell, like you guys, like all media people in sports today, if we can, this is the high time that we should.
Or we make noise to the government.
Both Government of Football Kenya Federation,
Yes.
KPL.
Yes.
Yes, both of them. Don't spare anyone. Because like today, somebody like the people who are concerned in KPL, this is the high time they should step aside.
Yes, that's true.
Yes,
I agree.
This is the high time they should step aside. And they
They
say
have
no.
failed to
They have failed.
discharge their mandate.
Their mandate. Then, like it has been, we have been having tussle between Football Kenya Federation and KPL.
Over the running and management of the league.
Exactly. Now, right now, things are in stalemate. What should we do? To me, I'll ask the KPL people either to be submissive to the Football Kenya Federation or resign. I can assure even today, I don't know if they are in a position to pay their offices. And in Football Kenya Federation, goal projects, if they go to talk to Football Kenya Federation, they give them a place.
Yeah, because the office is too
The
vast,
office
it can
is
accommodate.
yes, it can accommodate them so that they can spare this money. Now, we didn't talk about the referees, actually. I don't know whether you
Because
are to come-
clubs, I'm told,
Yes.
clubs
Yes.
now will start paying referees.
Exactly, Maxwell.
Is it that compromise already?
From this weekend, these clubs will be paying the referees. Now, to me, I'll ask the KPL to get out of the premises where they are. That money that is being used to pay the rent, they can use
In
it
Westlands?
in Westlands.
Damn expensive.
Yes, it's damn expensive. They can use it somewhere else. Now, come today, all clubs will start paying the referees. Anywhere in the world, I think Kenya is the first Kenya Premier League to start paying the referees.
It has never been witnessed elsewhere.
Me personally, Maxwell, I've never witnessed this.
Now,
This is the first
now, as we wind up, you are a delegate and eligible to vote in the upcoming Football Kenya Federation elections. I know you overwhelmingly voted for our friend Nick Mwendwa as the boss of FKF. He's seeking to defend his seat. The elections are on for December this year, but there has been, criticism over the manner in which elections are being conducted from, candidates who are also seeking to get elected in various positions. Sam Nyamweya, former FKF boss, Moses Akaranga, a candidate in the presidency, also condemning the federation for having an FKF elections board operating from Goal Project, which is their headquarters, saying that is already a rigged exercise. What's your take?
To me, let me first correct you. I am not a delegate. And
you were a delegate last time.
yeah, I
You
was
voted.
a delegate last time. I voted. And this time round, I'm not actually not yet to confirm. But when it comes to the allegations, fine. To me, Football Kenya president is running for another term.
Yes.
And anywhere in the world, if you are trying to run for another term, you'll go for all ways on how you can get some favorism to
Because
win
you are the
election.
incumbent.
You are the incumbent. You cannot say that now I'm the incumbent and I want these things to be happen the way other people
Other
want.
candidates want.
It
My
can't-
opponent.
It can't work. But again, also, I'll also go to the books of the works of the Nick Mwendwa. Right now, if me personally, if I'm asked to judge Nick and other candidates who have been there, Nick still overtakes them. Because if you compare what Nick has done and what he has not done, the way people puts it, the merits takes it. Now, to me, not that I'm campaigning for Nick, but let us be realistic. The candidates that we have right now is Nick, Nyamweya, Akaranga, and Akaranga. Now, to me, Akaranga is the only person that we have not seen in previous regime. But Nyamweya, we have seen what he did and what he did not do well. Now, if you compare the score sheet for both Nick and Nyamweya, what Nick has done and what Nick did not do, to me, still Nick carries the day. But when it comes to Akaranga, Akaranga is somebody who's new in football.
But he pioneered two clubs, Vihiga United and Vihiga Bullets.
But you see, when it comes to federation or the seat,
It's different.
it's different between club level and federation, entire federation. Because in federation, it's not just about the club. We have so many activities that are being will take part. So you need also to be more knowledgeable about these things. But I don't dispute about Akaranga. Akaranga is also a good candidate because he has that passion. So let him come, and he should not start complaining about the electoral board. Let him push, because nothing will just come when you are seated. You have also to go for it.
Anyway, thanks gentlemen for coming through. It's been, you know, fantastic discussion this afternoon talking about state of Kenyan football with focus on what's happening in Kenyan Premier League. I know Fred Openda has got contrary reservations over FKF elections coming up, despite the fact that he's not a candidate. But it's been a fruitful discussion. Albert Wesonga, Secretary General, Mount Kenya FC, joining us this particular afternoon to discuss about the general state of financial stalemate facing Kenyan Premier League. Don't go away, stay tuned. The show still continues until 3 p.m. We're coming up with the fans on where we discuss international football with focus on what will be happening tomorrow, Liverpool against Manchester United. Stay tuned to the touchline.